Imagine a crisp autumn morning in France, the year of our Lord 1356. The air hangs heavy, thick with anticipation. The fields outside the quiet town of Poitiers are transformed. No longer peaceful farmland, but a stage set for a clash of kingdoms. On one side, a sea of banners bearing the golden lilies of France, a mighty host stretching as far as the eye can see. Their numbers are overwhelming, their spirit confident. They are led by their king, John the Good, eager to drive the English invaders from his lands. Facing them, a smaller force, a sliver of steel against the vastness of the French army. These are the English, hardened veterans led by a prince who has already tasted victory against the French. They're outnumbered, but not outmatched. They are the English, and they are led by Edward, the Black Prince. At stake is more than just land or pride. It is the fate of two kingdoms. The outcome of this battle will echo through the ages, shaping the destiny of nations and the course of history itself. The fields of Poitiers are not just a battleground, but a crucible where heroes will be forged and legends will be born. The clash of kings is imminent, and the world holds its breath. Edward, the Black Prince. A name that echoed through the annals of history. The very name sent shivers down the spines of Frenchmen, a symbol of relentless power and unyielding determination. He was a warrior born, a leader of men, his reputation forged in the fires of earlier battles, where his courage and tactical genius shone brightly. From a young age, he had been schooled in the art of war, his skills honed on the battlefields of France, learning the harsh realities of combat. At Crécy, a mere boy of 16, he had proven his mettle, rallying his men against a French onslaught and securing a stunning English victory, a feat that would be remembered for generations. His ruthlessness was matched only by his strategic brilliance, a combination that made him a formidable opponent. He understood the art of war like few others, knew how to exploit the enemy's weaknesses and turn the tide in his favor, always staying one step ahead. He was a master of terrain, of timing, of inspiring his men to fight with unwavering ferocity, pushing them beyond their limits. But today, he faced his greatest challenge yet, a test that would define his legacy. The French king was here, leading his army personally, a rare and significant event. The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome would shape the future of nations. The memory of Crécy loomed large over the field, a ghost that haunted both armies, casting a shadow over their every move. For the French, it was a bitter reminder of past humiliation, a defeat they were determined to avenge, no matter the cost. They had learned from their mistakes, or so they believed, refining their strategies and bolstering their resolve. Their cavalry, once the pride of their army, had been decimated by English archers at Crécy, a lesson painfully etched into their memories. They would not make that mistake again, or so they vowed. The Black Prince, too, remembered Crécy, the victory that had defined his military career. He knew the French would be wary of his archers, that they would try to close the distance quickly, to engage in a brutal melee where their superior numbers would count, hoping to overwhelm his forces. He would use their fear against them, turning their caution into a weapon. He chose his battlefield carefully, a gently sloping hillside that gave his archers a clear field of fire, an advantage he intended to exploit fully. He would make the French come to him, bleed them dry with arrows, and then, only then, would he unleash his own cavalry, striking with precision and devastating effect. The French attacked first, a wave of mounted knights, their armor gleaming in the late summer sun. They charged bravely, spurred on by their king, desperate to erase the shame of Crécy. But the English archers were ready, Thousands of arrows filled the air, a deadly hail that blotted out the sun. The French knights, weighed down by their armor, were easy targets. Horses screamed, men fell, their advance faltering, breaking. The Black Prince watched from his command post, his face impassive behind his visor. He showed no mercy, gave no quarter. Wave after wave of French knights broke against the English lines, only to be cut down. The air grew thick with the stench of blood and sweat, the cries of the wounded, the groans of the dying. It was a disaster. The French king, John the Good, was a brave man, but even he could see that the attack was faltering. He gathered his own household knights, the flower of French chivalry, for a desperate charge. They smashed into the English lines with the force of a thunderbolt. Their valor undeniable. The English lines buckled, threatened to break. The Black Prince, seeing the danger, took a gamble. He ordered his own cavalry, held in reserve, to countercharge. The clash was titanic, a maelstrom of steel and fury. The Black Prince, a warrior possessed, fought like a demon, his battle cry ringing out above the din. The tide of battle turned. The French, their initial fervor spent, began to waver. Their king, surrounded, fought with the courage of despair, but it was a losing battle. He was unhorsed, captured, his reign brought to a sudden, humiliating end. The sight of their king in chains broke the French spirit. They scattered, fleeing the field in disarray, leaving behind thousands of dead and wounded. The English victory was complete, their triumph absolute. The Black Prince had won his greatest victory yet. News of the English victory at Poitiers spread like wildfire across Europe. It sent shockwaves through the French court, plunging the kingdom into chaos. The capture of their king was a catastrophe, a blow to their pride from which they would not soon recover. For the English, it was a moment of unprecedented triumph. The Black Prince returned to England a conquering hero, his name on everyone's lips. The ransom for the French king was astronomical. A king's ransom indeed, filling the English coffers and giving them a decisive advantage in the ongoing war. The Battle of Poitiers was more than just a military victory. It was a cultural earthquake. It cemented the Black Prince's reputation as one of the greatest military commanders of his age, a man who embodied both the chivalric ideals and the brutal realities of medieval warfare. The battle also marked a turning point in the 100 Years' War, solidifying English dominance and casting a long shadow over the French psyche. The memory of that day, of their king in chains, would linger in the French consciousness for generations to come, a constant reminder of their vulnerability and the price of defeat. The Black Prince's daring victory at Poitiers would echo through the corridors of history, a testament to the enduring power of strategy, courage, and the will to win, no matter the odds. Thank you for watching. If you found this video beneficial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Trotastoria to continue learning from the annals of history.